Imagine a Danganronpa game set in a beautiful forest in autumn. You hear the sound of birds chirping and leaves falling to the ground as you begin to become accustomed with this new environment. As you explore the environment, getting to know new characters, you hear this theme in the background that seems to match this environment so perfectly. Although the looming threat of a killing game is overbearing, the feeling of tranquility is something that you want to just take in and absorb as you begin to feel this new environment. And that's the beauty of the beautiful themes, their ability to help establish mood and environment. Hello everyone, I'm Everything Fantasy, and today we're going to be looking at the beautiful themes from Danganronpa, and in particular, two key things: how they help to establish mood and environment, and secondly, what exactly makes a beautiful theme. As always, please make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. We're over halfway to getting to 5,000, so your support is massively appreciated. Also, please feel free to check out my Patreon for additional content too. Although there are loads of beautiful themes across all Danganronpa games, in this video we're going to be focusing on 3 of them in particular, and these are going to be the first 3 beautiful themes you hear once you finally get control and are able to explore the environment in each Danganronpa game. So from Danganronpa 1, that's Beautiful Dead. In Danganronpa 2, that's Beautiful Ruin. Although the first theme you technically hear is Beautiful Ruin Somersault, which is a variation of Beautiful Ruin, we're going to be looking at both of them. And finally, Beautiful Lie from Danganronpa V3. So in order to determine how the music helps to enhance the mood and the environment, we first have to work out, well, what exactly is the mood that the environments are trying to create? And so without reference to music, I asked my Discord this question, and here's what they think. For Danganronpa 1, it's feelings of dread, unnerving feelings, and isolation. For Danganronpa 2, it's surreal, relaxing, and atmospheric. For Danganronpa V3, it's feelings of calmness, self-aware, and also slight tense to it as well. It's interesting, this contrast between calm and tense, and we'll talk about how the music helps to create that as well. There's elements of calmness within the music, but there's also elements of slight tension within the music too. To help answer the question of how the music helps to establish mood and environment and what makes a beautiful theme, I think it's useful to first summarize each of the 3 pieces. And within this summary, I think you'll start to notice some really glaring similarities across all 3 pieces anyway. The key signature is G minor mostly, but has elements of B flat minor. The time signature is a consistent 4/4. The tempo is around 84 beats per minute, or a slow walking pace. The instruments are heavily electronic, such as soft synth pads and a synth bass, although the main melodic instrument is a piano. And I describe the tone as melancholy, dark, mournful, and somewhat sorrowful as well. In the case of Beautiful Ruin, the tonality shifts quite a lot, largely due to heavy chromaticism, which is where notes are played outside of the key signature, but generally the key is B minor. The time signature is around 4/4. The tempo is around 97 beats per minute, or a moderate walking pace. The instruments are generally very percussion heavy, which helps to create the tropical vibes. But the main melodic instrument in the case of Somersault is a series of pitched percussion instruments like marimbas, whereas in this traditional Beautiful Ruin, the main melodic instrument is a whiny sounding synth sound, very similar to the melodic instrument in Wonderful Dead. In terms of the tone, we have something which is very uplifting, relaxed, calming, and almost hypnotic in a sense, which helps to create this surreal feeling mentioned before. Beautiful Lie is primarily in the key of A flat minor, with a shift to B minor in a particular section of the piece. The time signature is generally 4/4, but there are elements of 7/4. The tempo is around 106 beats per minute, making it the fastest of the 3 themes, and is almost a fast walking pace. The instruments are generally electronic heavy, but the main melodic instrument, like Beautiful Dead, is a piano. I describe the tone as slightly more upbeat compared to the previous 2, lively and energetic. Towards the end of the video, we'll talk in more detail as to what makes one of these exploration beautiful themes by referencing some similarities and consistencies across all of them. But there are some initial observations that can be made just from looking at the summaries alone. The first is the gradual shift in tone from Beautiful Dead, something which is more isolating in the feeling that it creates, to Beautiful Lie, which is much more open and easygoing in tone. The second is the increase in tempo, Beautiful Dead being much more slow in tempo compared to Beautiful Ruin, which gradually picks up the pace, and Beautiful Lie, which is the fastest of the three. And perhaps both the tone and the tempo can relate to story-related reasons too, but I'll leave that for the comment section below. All of this is important because music is fundamentally a storytelling tool, and one of the things I love most about Masafumi Takada's music in Danganronpa games is the way they talk to each other, not only within each game, but across all of the games too. So with that said, let's now analyze how musical devices and musical techniques help to create mood and environment. One of the really interesting features about all three themes is how mood and environment is established very quickly in the piece. It's something which I tried to mimic in my version of a beautiful theme. In the case of Beautiful Dead, we have this extremely pulled back and slow opening, with a melancholy sounding harpsichord in the background with heavy delay. Instruments almost sound like they have a rubato effect. Rubato is a musical feature where note lengths and rhythms are stretched out. The main sections of the piece contain a rich sounding piano, very different compared to Beautiful Lie's thinner sounding piano. And that again creates this feeling of a big weight bearing down on you. This is combined with really atmospheric electronic drums. Here Takada uses RMX stylus to create these rhythmic soundscapes. Beautiful Ruin manages to also establish mood and environment very early in the piece. It does this through an atonal opening. Atonal meaning not written in any key or mode. This means that it sounds very hypnotic, quite surreal, and goes back to all of the things people in my Discord use to describe the environment of DR2. Combine this with stereotypically tropical sounding percussion and really pulled back, relaxed, almost carefree instrumentation, and you get a paradise tropical theme. And finally for Beautiful Lie, we have an opening very reminiscent of Beautiful Dead, but much more positive in terms of the chord progression. The synthesizers sound fizzy, and this helps to create this tension, as mentioned in the Discord comments before. But people in the Discord also suggested that it felt very self-aware, the environment, and also had an element of calmness to it as well. And part of the way this is achieved musically is the fact that the melody itself sounds so organized and so consistent throughout the entire piece. It follows a pattern of 2 dotted quavers followed by a quaver. And most importantly, this pattern is an element of swing. This, combined with the incredibly organized but rhythmically groovy percussion instruments, helps to create the mood and feel of the whole piece. Finally, to answer the question of what makes a beautiful theme, beyond using instruments, melody and harmony to establish mood and environment, let's look at some similarities and consistencies across the themes. The first one, as already mentioned, is that atmospheric introduction, but the atmospheric sections actually cut across multiple sections of each individual piece. It's something very inherent in Takada's style. The second is a chordal break to separate the melody. It's something we can see in each individual piece. The third is the distinctly harmonic nature of all three themes. Particularly when it comes to comparing Beautiful Dead with Beautiful Lie, we see a clear separation of melody and harmony, with the piano in particular filling the role of playing the harmony in the left hand and the melody in the right hand. The fourth similarity is a series of patterns and phrases which are consistent across all three themes. Now some of these are quite subtle, but let's pick two as an example. The first one are the arpeggiated phrases heard in both Beautiful Ruin and Beautiful Lie, somewhat buried in the background, but distinct enough to be consistent across both themes. The second similarity we'll choose is the bass line of Beautiful Ruin and Beautiful Lie. Both have a similar structure, and let's compare the two. Now I've only really scratched the surface when it comes to the beautiful themes, and there are many more that I haven't mentioned, each with their own purpose in terms of what they're trying to achieve. But what do you think? What's your favourite beautiful theme? And what comes to mind when you think of these individual themes? Let me know in the comment section below, but until next time, thanks for watching and take care.